Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where last episode we kicked Carthage off of Iberia, and that's absolutely great, but we do have some work to do here. Now, this stuff over here is all designed to prevent Carthage from being able to come in and attack us, right? That's the reason why we kept a lot of this around. So what we're likely going to end up doing is building a wall of forts here and here to hold back Rome. But beyond that, we're probably not too concerned about other forts. Now, they could theoretically come in by sea. That is something to consider. We probably want to have at least one fort in each coastal state, which would mean that we could get rid of, say, this fort here. This fort is not in a coastal state, nor is this one. It is bordering over here in Lusitania, but it's probably not that big of a deal. So for the time being, let's kick forward a bit. We're a little concerned about Rome being upset at our aggressive expansion. We're absolutely going to chill for a bit here. Okay, Rome is definitely upset. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to immediately work to improve opinion here. We're going to gain a bunch of tyranny, actually, from this, because the Senate is not currently approving of us. That's okay. We actually want that tyranny, because that will increase the reduction in our aggressive expansion. So that's absolutely fine. Increase the reduction. That's a weird way to phrase things. Okay, so we're currently at 4.52. Is that actually real? No, 31.91. Okay, that sounds good. So we're going to need to work on getting our fort situation specifically over here sorted out. So looking at this state here, we have a fort there. Okay. This state, we're going to have a fort here for sure. Having a fort at this crossing is maybe not a terrible idea. I think that this 2-level fort is absolutely unnecessary at this time. I'm going to get rid of it. We'll leave the building slots for now. We'll come back to them. These forts up here, I think, are certainly unnecessary. We've got this fort over here, which I think we can certainly get rid of. And then up over this direction, we've got this guy here, which is okay. I think that we can get rid of this guy and then call that good. This fort we definitely don't need. I'm going to keep this one around since this is a border state. We've got this fort here, and I think that we can... Technically, this is a border state, isn't it? Because we've got these here. Technically. Okay, sure. These states over here we mostly don't control. I'm not going to be too worried about that. This is a border state that has no fort at all. Is there a location we'd like to build a fort? Well, is there a location that doesn't have anything right now? The answer to that is no. Okay. We have a provincial legation here right now. I mean, that is nice. But I'm going to remove it and build a fort. Okay. Up over here, I'm not going to be worried about this state here. I would love to have a fort like up here. That's a mine right now, and that's a farm. Okay. We could think about maybe getting rid of this olive location and building a fort there. So up over here, I'd like to have a fort somewhere. We probably have settlement buildings in all of these locations. Yes. We could certainly remove this port and build a fortress there. I'm not going to be concerned about this. We have a fort here, which sounds good. This fort here, or rather this location here, I would love to have a fort put in somewhere. This provincial legation location is a good one, I think. These being forts, I think, makes a lot of sense to hold back the Romans over here. This fort is technically okay because this is on our coast, so I'm okay with that. We wouldn't mind having a fort down this way somewhere. Ditching the port is maybe the way to go there. Cool. This fort's fine. We only need one fort here, so I'm going to ditch this one for the moment, and we can put in a farming settlement. That'll be good. We're running low on cash, and that's noted, but we've got a fort here. That seems okay. We've got a fort here and here. I don't think we need both. We're going to get rid of that one, and we'll put in a mine. So we're now basically out of money, right? But we don't need this fort. We don't need this fort. This fort arguably is still useful, as are both of these. Okay, so now we can make our way up. We definitely don't need these two forts. That can be gotten rid of. This fort we're keeping around for the moment, but this one is unnecessary since that's not a border state. We might keep our 2 levels of fort in our capital for right now. This is not a border state, so we do not need forts here or here. Okay. So beyond that, that should be our fort situation broadly taken care of. Things are much better on the fort front now. No doubt about that. Yeah, that'll do for the time being. So we have a bunch of this going on. Yeah, 45.76. That is not shocking. We may want to bring this down to just a single level of fort just to make sure that they can't take our capital right away. That's not a terrible concept. I also want to hop in and check. We're at 159. Okay, let's bump up to 2 additional libraries in our capital. Wonderful. So now I want to go into our macro builder, and we want to build a mine where we can, and then we'll wait until we have the gold to build that farming settlement. We do need to get our Senate support up. And how are we going to go about doing that? Well, we could certainly go into our government here. The Democrats currently hold 41% of the Senate, and the Traditionalists hold 44%. Okay, sure. They want us to defend religious privileges, or actually they want us to invest state infrastructure in the province of Cunha. Where are you? Over here? Okay, so they want this. Honestly, we can do that. We'll get that going. That's not a problem. We do have a Scorn family, and we need a new augur. So what do we need here? This guy will do. Cool. Discipline and army morale recovery, or we could hand out a small bonus. I don't want to lose the approval. We're going to go into debt here, but it's going to be a very, very brief debt. We're only going to be in debt for a little bit here. Actually, progress abandoned. That's unfortunate that that popped immediately. Very unfortunate. So our research efficiency is going to be low for a little while here. I guess that's fine. We are ahead of time, so I'm not too concerned about it. And that does give us enough to immediately build that farming settlement. Cool. So we'll get that underway, I suppose. That's absolutely fine. I also want to make sure that we're going into our administration provinces. We need to make sure that these are set up for automatic trading. There we go. There's a number of these that we just took over. And we should probably make sure that they are set up for conversions as well. So we'll sort by religious unity here. This can definitely switch over to cultural assimilation. Cultural assimilation. Cultural assimilation. Yep, cultural is all good here. We definitely want cultural here. This is currently on religious integration. I think cultural assimilation is better here, though. We're at 95. So that'll be fine. So we'll go for cultural assimilation here. This is on harsh treatment right now. Does that need to be? Yes. Yes, it does. For the moment, that needs to remain on harsh treatment. Okay. And now we're getting down into the religious conversion levels. This is currently on harsh treatment. Yep, and that needs to remain there. Cool. 0.14, that needs to remain, unfortunately. So that's all reasonably fine. Yeah, no problems there. So we're at 9.6 tyranny right now. That's going to reduce our aggressive expansion a little faster. We could definitely think about offsetting our stability loss with a divine sacrifice. We could do a pig stab here, and I don't think we're going to right now because I'd like to get some city upgrades going. Now, of course, we still have these missions that we need up here. We're not going to war for a bit. I can tell you that right now. I'd like to settle this area, but we're not prepared to do that at this time. We could probably make it happen, though. So we would need 8 pops in one of the surrounding locations. We only have 2 locations that we can settle this from, apparently, because of this river. Okay. So we would need 8 pops here, and we would need this to be majority Carpetanian. So this would come in here. Druidic and Carpetanian sounds good. Another couple of Druidic and Carpetanian. That puts us at 9. So what are we actually at for our... Has only slaves, and thus cannot be a source for colonization. Okay, so we would need to move a non-slave pop in here, but I don't think we can do that, right? I think we have to have a non-slave pop migrate in. So we can't do that for now. We'll just call that good. And eventually we'll be able to do that, but not yet. Not yet. So we probably want to spam out provincial legations at this point. Unless there are useful slave estates, which there are not. Okay, sounds good. So I think we'll just do provincial legations based on pop assimilation speed. There we go. We'll get those going. And we're making a good amount of money right now. We're definitely going to need to continue to work on it. Oh, right. These guys aren't actually ordered to build road. I told them to come out over this direction off camera, but I intended to order them to build up roads all throughout here, like so. And then we'll divide this into sectors based on the impassable terrain in these locations. So that's fine. We'll get this area built up road-wise, and then we'll have to come back up over this direction. This shouldn't take too long to get done. Our infrastructure has improved, and nothing should go to waste. And that should boost up our support in the Senate somewhat. Ah, now we can colonize this. Because a freeman showed up here. Beautiful. So we'll do exactly that. That is now colonized, and that is now our territory. Cool. And the traditionalists did boost up their opinion of us somewhat. But what else do we need here? Well, it would definitely be good to get some... go into our government. That would help. It would definitely be a good thing to get some Democrat approval here. The traditionalists are doing well. So they want us to grant rights to the Celtiberians. They want us to make that an integrated culture. And honestly, that might be fine. We could give them citizenship rights. Sure. Now that's going to be a little bit of a lengthy process, but we'll get that going. That should boost up the Democrat opinion of us by a decent chunk. So that's absolutely great. And we've got a lot of construction projects underway right now. No doubt about that. We have a lot of work to do. But we should be in a reasonably good defensive posture here. Now, to be clear, none of these fortresses are intended to be locations that hold forever, right? They're just intended to slow down any incursions until we can respond to them. We can definitely hop into the Iberian traditions here and take heavy and light infantry offense would be interesting. National Noble output would actually be kind of amazing right now, and we're going to take that. That's to help offset our currently poor research efficiency. Now, that will get quite a lot better, no doubt about that. That will improve over time. So that's absolutely fine. We can get ourselves another provincial legation going here. Integration progress will go up by 10%. Culture Freeman output. It's a very temporary sort of thing. But we'd be freeing a bunch of Celtiberian slaves. You know what? Just do it. That'll boost up our manpower, and that is something that we need to do. We're going to get another provincial legation building here. And we are wrapping up a bunch of these constructions. So this is going to cost how much? 136? Yeah, we have enough for that. Fantastic. We just need to make sure we have at least 10 in the bank at all times, otherwise these guys will forget to build their roads. And that would not be ideal. That would not be ideal at all. There's been mutiny. That's a lot of gold. Okay. Our legate died. And we now have a scorned family, the Davici family, but, I mean, they kind of brought it on themselves with that mutiny. We've got a bountiful harvest here. We're doing okay on our current stability, but it should be noted we're losing half a point of stability per month with this ridiculous amount of aggressive expansion. So we should probably take stability here, actually. Cool. So that looks good for now. Indeed it does. These mines are going to be done relatively soon, as are these farming settlements. We're going to go after these guys eventually. Do they have allies with each other? Yes, they do. Okay, so this is going to be one singular war. We're definitely going to want to let our AE drop. I would like to take these guys out relatively soon. I don't suppose we can just demand them to be a vassal. Not currently. Okay, war exhaustion is a lot of reasons for that. Sure, I mean, our war exhaustion is quite high, right? We're not surprised about that, considering we just fought a civil war and Carthage simultaneously. We're not surprised that we have a lot of war exhaustion. In fact, we're kind of surprised that these wars against Carthage have gone as well as they have. And that Rome hasn't really done anything to us. Rome is just kind of chilling, being a bro right now. We hope that they continue that. To be completely clear, they don't like us. Minus 184 from aggressive expansion. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. We need to let our AE drop. Just getting it below 50 is going to be a big deal. And letting our war exhaustion drop too. Hey, 10 approval from Democrats. Cool. So now the Senate supports us. That's absolutely wonderful. We're going to finish up this road section very soon. And I think that our next route is going to be, we're going to come down this direction and connect over here, routing around all of this impassable terrain. So that will connect here, here, and here. And then that would connect over this way. And then we come back up this way and go like so. Now, we're probably going to want a road connection that leads up this way, or maybe even up this way. I'm not sure which yet. But this will do for now. Well, thinking about this, I think it makes most sense to do something kind of like this, actually. So it would go like so. And then from there, this would connect in something like this, and then we would head... Oh, Melancholia, okay. We would head up over this direction, like that, and then we can connect in here, and then connect in here. And I think that gets this section of road complete. That looks good to me. So from there, we can start thinking about, like, this sector up over here, which we know is already a mess. We'll get there. We definitely need additional work on that. We can build a couple more provincial legations. Actually, we can build a mine, and sure, we'll do that. That goes up over here, this location that we just colonized. So that sounds absolutely wonderful. We're also going to build a few additional provincial legations. We can get 3 of those underway. Perfect. So these roads in our newly acquired Carthaginian territories are going to take a little while to get done. And then we'll head off over this direction, and the question then is, how do we want to build our roads working around this situation? The answer is probably by the time we get there, we're going to want to deal with that. We're going to want to have annexed this by the time we get there. So we'll probably finish all of this, and then we'll bring our legion up, and we'll annex this very quickly. That should not get us very much AE or war exhaustion. That should be a very quick and easy war, in theory. We've got a lot of road build ahead of us down here. We can enact a decision here to abolish social equity. We're not going to do any of these, actually. None of those decisions are worthwhile for us. Ah, Rome was in a civil war. I must have missed that. Interesting. That explains a lot. But look at that. Our aggressive expansion has dropped to 171 at this point. That's beautiful. We're down below 50, so a lot of those really bad negative effects are no longer a thing. And we can see we're now losing about a quarter point of stability. So that's great. I want to continue to build provincial legations for the time being. We want to help that conversion rate. This guy is now in charge here. We do need a governor in Telekinesis. Actually, this is in Celtiberia Centralis. Where did I get Telekinesis from? Okay, whatever. We'll get that done, no problem. And we'll just continue to build these provincial legations for conversion rate for now. So that all looks good. We're going to get this turned into a bit of a crossroads. This, of course, is going to be a bit of a crossroads as well. But this is just based on the terrain over here. Ah. It feels like we need a connection here, doesn't it? At least down this way and then connecting in like that. It kind of does feel like that. Okay. Let's see what path this ends up taking. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so then we would connect here, here, here. Not quite with that route, but there we go. Something like that. And then from there, they would just march up over this way. Cool. That looks good. So we're going to let them do that. The head of the Correid family just died. Sure. No real problems there. I would like to get more provincial legations going. We've got a lot of these we can still build. And we have a lot of converting of pops to do, to be clear. How are we doing on our pop count? 2923 compared to 3340? Yeah, that's definitely improving. But then, if we look at Rome, 6703. That's a lot. No doubt about that. That is a whole lot. So we're going to have to deal with Rome eventually. Right now, we don't want to deal with Rome. I do want to grab national slave output at this point to boost up our slave economy somewhat. And we're going to want to start continuing to work on city buildings. There's definitely city buildings that we want to work on. I'm wondering if we want to do that before building these provincial locations or not. We do have a number of these to go. Indeed. I think we'll continue to work on these for now. I want to get those done. We've got a minor addendum here. 6 stability for 10 political influence is absolutely worth it right now. That brings us back up over 50 stability. So that's wonderful. We're continuing to lose about a quarter point of AE per month. And our war exhaustion is dropping as well. So that's all looking great. We have a lot of road build ahead of us still. Once this is all done, we'll arrive back at our capital, and then we're going to look to conquer these guys, is going to be the plan there. We're gaining 260 manpower per month, which is not terrible. Are these guys fighting each other? They were just allies. But they are fighting each other. Huh. That's intriguing. That is certainly intriguing. We're not in a position to attack them right now. No doubt about that. We are simply not. There's no way we can do it. Well, I mean, there are ways we can do it. There's no good way that we can do it. We're not going to try to pull that off for the moment. We're going to have substantial issues if we do. So for the time being, we're just going to continue building roads, and this will be absolutely fine. We'll work our way through this. All of our Carthaginian roads will be done shortly, and then we'll go conquer this area, and we'll work on getting our road build done over here. So, I mean, we've got a lot of road building ahead of us, no doubt about that. That is absolutely true. And we've got a lot of provincial legations ahead of us, too. We're going to continue to build these. I do want to get city buildings built fairly soon, but I really do want to get these provincial legations built. Getting that conversion done is actually a pretty big deal. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of conversion to do here. So we'll look at maybe replacing these provincial legations eventually, if I remember. But for now, it'll take some time. Cool. Keep in mind, a lot of this road movement over this way is over roads, so we won't actually be building on the roads. So we don't actually have that many more sections of road to build over here. We're making very solid progress there. Once we're done with the provincial legations, we'll start building city buildings. Arguably, we should do it the other way around. But I have a feeling we're going to have some timing issues. That said, a tax office here makes a lot of sense. So we could certainly do that. And I would really like to go around and find where our cities are. Okay, martial advances there. We'll absolutely take that. We could definitely grab, like, this here. Or just loyalty of generals. That might not be a bad thing. We have a lot of military advances that we want to grab. I also still want to go down and grab scientific patronage and sponsored research. We're actually fairly close to this. So we know that we wanted to take either of these. We'll take selective immunity for right now. And I believe we need both of these, yes. We should be getting this actually quite soon. So administrative patronage, military patronage, and then scientific patronage will be these three. Ensure the rules are being followed. Cool. Okay, so there's a civic advance, and we're going to grab administrative patronage. There we go. And we're definitely seeing our research efficiency coming back up, but it's not fully back up to where we want it to be. So let's get these last couple of tech advances here. When's this going to happen? In like March and then in July? Okay, that's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. It's currently January, so we'll get to those shortly. Currently digging a road out this direction. Cool. Oratory advance, and we grab military patronage. And then scientific patronage into sponsored research is the way to go. Beautiful. So that'll be fine, and then we probably eventually want embracing philosophy, but that's a long ways away. There's a lot of stuff that we want, to be clear. So we're going to make our way up here, and then we'll walk on a road down this way. Yeah, this is going to be done quite soon. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, and I was hoping that we would at least get this done. That'll be in July. You know what? Let's just keep going until July. That's only a couple of months. Not a big deal here. Not a big deal here. That's completely okay. I do want to get another provincial legation or two going here. Just get those out of the way and get those conversions underway as soon as possible. And we do see a potential civil war brewing out here. This is our augur. Okay, I'm just going to bribe him. Cool. Actually, that was the other guy. Hang on. This guy. We're going to bribe him. So that puts him up to 32 loyalty. That should get rid of that, right? Well, we do want to definitely grab our oratory advance for scientific patronage. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, we have a bunch of innovations. Where did we get 3 from? Okay, I guess we'll grab sponsored research right now. And we could also go into, in theory, like civic advances, although I think we're better off at this point in martial. We'll grab heavy infantry discipline. And we'll continue to work on some of this stuff over here, this stuff over here. That'll all be relatively necessary. We do need a governor up over here. Let's get one in here. The Scorned family. That will be slightly better. We have a couple of Scorned families at this moment. People should rejoice. That'll boost up our stability. And actually, that gets that civil war to go away. Cool. So at this point, it is time to put that cut in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to attack these 2 provinces right here. It's not going to be very much at all. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Shadowwolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.